how's camp with the coaches? I mean, I have a lot of people in the comments here asking about Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin. Are they all working together?
They're all working together, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I was just talking about it today because it's crazy. Because again, everything that we've done leading up into this fight has been untraditional, right? And then what's crazy is this, and this is just me speaking, and I'm outside looking in. At the same time, I know a little bit about boxing, right? So in a sense, I see Calvin does great things, Barry does great things, but they're two different people. And Tank also learning himself and things that he needs that each person brings. I like to kind of equate it to like Tank's the head coach and Barry and Calvin are offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators.
Ooh, fire! I like that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he knows he needs an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator on his team.
Ooh.
And no one is questioning the calls or who's making the call. It's who brings what to the party to listen to and it's respected. I think it's one. It shows a great united front that is needed and a togetherness that is needed in boxing, that we can do it together. We can communicate. Of course, we can agree and disagree, but it has to. If it's not communicated, then you may think only your way is right, and he may think only his way is right. But when we all sit at the table and we have a discussion, okay, what do you have to say? What do you have to say? Oh, this is my opinion. Oh man, I never thought about that. That's a good point. Hey, take that out. Let's add this. Now we can really make things better. But when you think you got all the answers to it, and it's a team effort, man. It's about Tank. And I think as men, what people may think outside of that, or what they may want, is the polar opposite. These are grown men who are real men who can sit down and talk to each other and have respect for one another and respect each other's talents and abilities and not insecure as men in what they can't do or what they do well. So, man, this is everything has been different, bro. This whole thing, I know it's different, but it's okay. Like it's different for a good reason.
That's nice. That's nice to hear. Um, a lot of people asking that in the comments. I'm sure you've seen. Uh, but yeah, that's awesome. So now talk about Tank and you. What did he say about working with you? What was there anything that you took? Uh, Compliment. Something that he's like, maybe I want to use you on the next camp. Is there anything that he said to you while working with you?
I mean, we haven't discussed that. I speak to him about, hey, how you feeling? What are some things that you notice, and are you feeling, different? And he's definitely giving a lot of positive feedback. I think the one thing that probably got me was the fact that he said he has a son, and I think he's 1 years old, and he said, man, as soon as my son can walk, you training him. So regardless of what he says outside, I don't know what he may have said to other people, and this is just us conversating with me daily, just checking in with him, seeing how he is. I know what we do works, right? I know our philosophy works, and if you do it, it's going to work because you put the time in. No one's worse at working hard, consistent, and being disciplined. You don't get worse. So he's going to be better, but I will let him speak to it. But to me, that's the biggest honor in a sense, that you have a son and you trust in your son into somebody that you just met in 10 weeks, right? So like that right there says
That's awesome. So it seems to me that Tank has involved a bigger team at the highest level of his career to be able to basically what you're saying, dot your I's and cross your T's type deal.
yeah, and keep him accountable too. He wants to be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
He wants it. So he wants the discipline. You know what I mean? He wants it. He wants somebody to be on him and tell him where to be at this time and push these buttons. Think about it. If we're gonna do it, what we wasting? What we gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
You wanna leave on your terms. You wanna leave the best. Put the work in, so you don't have any regrets. You don't have regrets on wins or losses when you know you put it in. You only have regrets when you know you ain't put it in and you lose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he's trying to put himself in a position to where he doesn't have any regrets from this.
Mm. I like that. We could definitely appreciate that as fans. So when you see that as a competitor yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you don't see retirement. You
Nah.
don't. Nah.
I told him, I said, man, what are you talking about, bro?
Right.
Not knowing him, right? But that's my selfishness too, wanting to see him fight because he's so talented. He's such a great fighter. I don't want to see you leave, right? But at the same time, I understood why he said it and where it came from. And it also came from he's been training at the same sport since he's been 6 years old. You get tired of the same old routine after a while, right? You need something to spark your challenge, doing something a little different, stepping outside the box, but also still keeping some of that foundational principle nearby, right? Not saying you get rid of that stuff, but why don't we try this, man, to excite you a little more? So when he comes in here, he don't know what he gonna do, and it's okay for him to feel like I don't feel like doing this today, right? And it's I always say, look, long as you get here, the energy gonna move you. You're gonna be moved by somebody or someone in here, or you're gonna be needed to move somebody. So then it's just more so, the attitude of what he's bringing to the table, and that's what shifts for him. You know what I mean? That's what excited him. Now it's like, man, he's not talking about retirement. He he put something out. Was like, nah. It's almost kind of like we put the cable on his back. We jump started the cable. So now it's new life, and let's see where we at.